are. Welcome in, everybody. Another book for
Hey
Friday.
everyone.
Have some more author interviews for you. Tonight, we are going to be joined by two authors that you should all know. They are also for our quickly go over the rules and introductions. Just kick things off. Uh, Rules of the show are, as you know, chat, submit your questions. We will ask to our authors up here on screen with us. If any question leads to spoilers, or, I say this as nicely as I can. If you post a question that I can't comprehend, I'm probably not going to ask anybody else, because if it breaks my brain, there's a good chance it's going to break someone else's, and we're not liable. So, those are pretty much the only rules when it comes to this show. It's post your questions and no spoilers. As for our introductions, I am Styx, your regular host for Friday nights. I am joined tonight by special guest host right below me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Cash. You know me, Cash Butler.
Everybody knows. And joining us as our authors tonight, we have, as I said, familiar faces. A new face for some specifically, but new face. Let's say familiar names, new faces. How about that? We have SP Stavros and Ace, aka Brent Harris. Welcome in. Oh, that's it. That's the intro and the introductions and the rules. Now we can. Is there anything you'd like to? We'll start with Stavros. Is there anything you want to tell us about your genre, your books? Your socials are displayed, so you don't. People can check those out.
I mean, I would say that my books are in fantasy romance, but a lot of people who are already in uh, the chat and who have talked to me before know that I do mostly fantasy romance. Uh, I focus. Well, we'll find out more about that later.
Maybe. How about you, Ace? Anything you want to plug to start with in your introduction?
Well, I like to write for fun. By day, I am an IT SQL programmer, developer. Love to game. I'm a techie, sci-fi nerd, geek. But I also like to write. My genres are basically, um, light fantasy. I don't really get into too much into romance. Um, and I just like to write a good story to, brighten somebody's day, make somebody smile, make somebody laugh, those type of stories, usually character driven.
Excellent. So, as we explained backstage, we'll explain again for our chat and for anybody watching this in the future on a VOD or over on YouTube. Um, Whenever I ask a question, the person directly to my side will be answering first. In this case, that would be Stavros, and then Brent will be answering second. And then whenever Kesh asks a question first, Brent will answer first. Or whenever Kesh asks a question, Brent will answer first, then Stavros, just to keep everybody talking over. My first question of the night, which is one of the ones I've asked before, but I always feel like this is a controversial one that we need more voices on. Do you believe in reading comments? Believe in reading the reviews?
I do. I believe in reading reviews. In fact, I love reading reviews. I find them to be motivating and encouraging, and in some cases, helpful for criticism to improve.
All right. Motivating and encouraging. We don't usually get that answer, but that's good to hear that you got that experience. How about you, Ace?
I've not had enough to basically comment, but I've had some, and I do agree with reading the comments. The reviews would be good. Just don't, from what I've heard, don't dwell in them. Don't get too attached to the negatives. Uh, Things like that. A good healthy review seems to be positive to me.
Learn from the bad, but don't let it stick with you. It's good advice to go by. What's your question, Kesh?
Um, do you listen to music while you're writing? What would the soundtrack be if you do?
I would say for certain scenes, for certain things, it would be helpful. For me, it can't be distracting. Um, like if there's lyrics, then that would take me away, and I would get into listening, and I wouldn't write. Um, for me, something instrumental, something light, maybe a little spacey, sci-fi ish, maybe a little Lord of the Rings.
Okay, how about you, Stavros?
So for me, it depends on the scene. I do actually have playlists that are public and available on my YouTube for my first book and the second book I'm working on. I usually listen to those before I do any writing or editing to just get into the mood of it. And then at some point, when I have reached a point where I no longer hear the lyrics and I just hear the music, I start writing.
All right. So, those are some of the more standard questions that authors can expect. But that's not what we do here. At no. So what I'm gonna do now is ask a question that hopefully neither of our authors are prepared for. Set this up with a little story for you guys. Uh, Humanity has disappeared from the Earth for whatever reason. The Earth still is fine. There's still wildlife. Just humanity. Humans are gone. Aliens come to visit Earth, and the first thing that they find to learn about humanity is your books. What are they going to take away from? What are they going to learn about humanity?
Oh no. Oh no. Um, they're gonna learn that the rich are morally corrupt.
Okay, I would say that's an accurate. But I won't blanket statement,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I would say that that's a generally accurate depiction. Uh,
Eh,
is that the main and
yeah.
only thing?
No, also that there may also be like hints of elements of uh certain abhorrent acts that should not be happening but do happen.
I'm pretty sure
Um,
that's why they don't come and visit us already, is because they're aware of those terrible things that we
yeah.
do.
But at the same time, there's also like some trauma healing in it because like the MMC is a pretty steadfast guy and shows some yay. So maybe there's some good there too, but mostly the yikes things they would learn about humanity from my book. Ah.
Well, they might be glad
Um,
we're gone then. How about you, Ace?
They'll probably learn that people are complicated and especially emotionally, um, and that if you want to try something or if you see something sci-fi, don't try it at home. Uh, it may backfire on you.
All right, Kesh, what do we got next?
Um, would your research get you put on the FBI watch list? And what are the things that would put you in that category
Taking
on that
Julie's
watch
question, I
list?
see.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. I've tried to go through this one a couple of times in my mind. Um, Nothing really comes to mind as far as research for writing is concerned.
Uh, Research for writing. That means that there's non-writing research. Won't dig into that. Stavros, I saw the appropriate.
I'm trying
Well,
to.
if I could say one more thing, I know where you're going, Sticks. Um, I do like to watch the show Criminal Minds, but I watch it for the character interaction, not for the crimes.
Gotcha.
I may have watched Criminal Minds as a sort of like research, but not. Also, um, certain medieval devices that should not have been used on people but were, and particularly on women, and also um, what skin looks like when it's burned.
Okay. Medieval torture devices is definitely not one we've heard before, but various, how various injuries appear, we have heard. That seems to be a common one from authors. You're all a bunch of sadists. Um, Guess you're not supposed to smile at that.
I mean, just a little bit.
Okay, I'll ask my next question. Uh, your protagonist shows up at your front door. What's the first thing they say to you?
Um,
And for going forward, just if it's about a certain character or certain book, something like that, and you don't know which one we're talking about, it will be the one that is currently displayed next to your name. So for Stavros, that'll be Phoenix Child and the Brown Contract for you.
if my character showed up at my front door, I should probably be like, "Where the hell am I? And why are there moving horseless buggies?"
All right. So, yeah, not familiar with modern technology. It totally makes sense. I apologize for the pause there, guys. How about you, Ace?
I hope that my character would say thank you, because I do take the characters through a full life, and I hope is a good life in the story.
All right. So we have two very different takes on that, but that's the beauty of literary works is it's always a different world every time you step in. Kesh, what's your next
Exactly.
question?
Um, you've received a care package from your main character. What is inside that?
Hmm. Well, my main character in the Brown Contract is a journalist, and so it would probably be um, stories, the articles that she's written, um, maybe writing supplies, things like that. So, something that would um, help help my writing process from my main character. Why not?
Go ahead, Stavros.
So, um, if I got a care package, I can at least think of two things that my main character, Kalita, would send. Um, One of them would be this um, little woven phoenix that is made out of twigs, like just like the palm of your hand size. You can like make it yourself from twigs. And another would be a scarf from the Elven lands that is made and interwoven with natural magic.
I got to tell you, based on both
I
of
like
those
that.
answers and your question, Kesh, now I feel like I have to write a book just so that I can hope by some cosmic weirdness, like my character sends me a care package. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. I'd have to write a story about something that I would want a care package from, though. But I digress. I'll ask my next question. Sorry, guys. Oh, there's one from chat. Uh, Question from author Julie DeFisher. What is your favorite way to write? Um, that's really vague, Julie, so I'm going to narrow that down a little bit and say, are you more of a digital or pen and paper person?
Digital, very digital.
Keyboard, full keyboard for me. I've tried. I've had to write out something whenever my computer is off and I'm going to bed, and it was a speech for one of my characters, and so I got out my phone and typed it in. But I don't like typing on the phone or that. If I'm going to write, I need a full keyboard in front of me. So yeah, digital.
Seems to be the standard. Kesh, get the next chat, or are you going to read your
Um,
own?
Hold on. Maybe.
Standing by.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm just going to go with my one I ask every time. Which one of your characters are you giving the keys to your car to? And conversely, who wouldn't you trust with those keys?
Oh wow. Um, well, I'd probably give it to my main character, Christine, in the Brown Contract. She drives in there, and so I would trust her. And then um, I would not give them to Cecilia's brother, Edward. No.
All right. How about you?
So I would trust them with Kalita's best friend Jetta, but I would not actually trust them with my main character Kalita.
Do either of them even know how to drive? If they're confused by horseless buggies, I don't know if I'd trust either of them.
The thing is that like at least Jetta would be able to pick up on it faster. Kalita would just be hopeless.
Nice. Have another question from chat. This one coming from Bitzer, was a guest author last week. What is your favorite trope?
Trope in fantasy romance specifically, I would have to say enemies to lovers.
Okay. It didn't
I,
stipulate if it's one you use or just one you like, your favorite trope to use or your favorite trope to read about. But enemies to lovers
it's the
is
first and foremost in my head.
gotcha. How about you, Ace?
Unfortunately, I'm not having anything coming to mind. Hmm.
I mean that is a valid answer. Sometimes,
You
sometimes
stumped
it's
me
not
there,
about the
Bitzer.
tropes. Go for it, Kish.
Okay. Hmm. Your books are getting adapted into movies. Who would who would be cast as the main character? Who would you like to be cast as the main character?
You literally stole my next question. I was just gonna wait till I caught up on chat. It's okay.
Oops.
No, it's all good. I've got plenty. Go for it, Ace. You're first.
Oh wow. I know who would play the secondary character if I could get her to agree because she wasn't the inspiration, but she helped me make that character believable. And when I saw her for the first time riding on a bus, my mind said, "There's your character right there." And she's allowed me to say her name. Her name is Jennifer Turpin, the oldest of the Turpin 13. So she would play Cecilia. But Christine, my main character, who? Uh, Maybe Jerry Ryan, possibly.
All
As
right.
much as I want to have a movie about Kalita because I love her story and I love how interesting it is, I would also want a movie about Jetta and her story because she also goes through a lot of adversity, and I would love to see that on screen.
Cast for them.
Um, Jetta, she is mainly of Korean descent, so I would probably think the one who actually sung the song Apata, Rosie, I think is her name or
I
something.
know.
Rose?
Can't
Probably
think of the
her.
name, but I can picture her. Yep. What about Kalita?
Probably. Kalita is a bit harder one. I'm still trying to come up with my dream cast for her. I have my dream cast for Dominic, the male love interest, but her it's a bit harder because she has a very particular color of red hair.
Well, we have to find out who you'd cast as Dominic. Now we have to be judge your love.
Chad Michael Murray.
Righty. Chat. Let us know what you think about the casting. On. The question was, so I found another. If you could steal the writing style of any dead author for a single day, who would it be?
The only thing I can think of that comes to mind would be C.S. Lewis.
Very
Either that or
vivid,
Shakespeare.
very vivid, detailed world building.
Mm-hmm. I love the world building.
Excellent. How about you, Ace?
Maybe Tolkien. Or, no, Brian Jocks.
Oh, don't
He
die.
did the Redwall series.
Yes, I know, and it hurts me when I did to know that he counts as a dead author now. Ow.
Yeah, I had a friend in college who introduced me to his works, and she got a signed book from him. But he has great visuals.
He does. He does. We'll definitely do a quick side shout out to if you guys have not looked at that series. Definitely do it. And the story of how he got into writing is very heartfelt and touching. If you're not aware of it, go check that out as well. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for you guys. So, Kesha, I believe it's your question.
Tell us about your house critters.
The
Real life?
four-legged ones. The four-legged ones. We don't count.
Four-legged ones, yes. Your pets.
Oh, my parents had dogs when I was little, but now when my only critters are the two-legged kind. My kids. We don't actually have any pets. We have stuffed pets, but we don't have real pets. We've moved around. We've been mobile too much to really have anything yet.
Gotcha.
Currently, I cannot afford animals, but when my kids are older, we have talked about once I have my own income and then also my husband's, so two incomes, we'll get a cat because everyone agreed on getting a cat. In the past, I've had a cat and dogs and rabbits and a bearded dragon. So I'm very well versed with animals. I've even had a reptile birthday party for my 13th birthday.
Nice.
All right, here's one that we have not had on the show yet. I swear I just had it. Where did it go? Never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, this first for me. My eyeballs are not working. There was a line right there on the screen, and it's now gone. All right. Do you write things to remember them or to forget them?
I would say to remember them, but also for other people to see them.
Found it. I'm gonna. Okay. So to put it out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Ace?
I don't and wish I did.
You don't and wish you did?
Yes, do I write things down to remember or forget? I neither. And I wish I did. Well, I guess you'd say I wish I
Gotcha.
did more. Maybe very.
Gotcha.
I don't do it enough.
Go for it, Kish.
All right. What helps you to relax so you can get in that Zen mood to actually write?
Uh, lately, it's been um, either listening to something else, maybe listening to an audiobook, playing Minecraft, um, maybe watching, catching up on a show that has a new episode. But then I also have to make sure that I don't um, get consumed by that and end up not writing.
So, sort of the music, but also the special adult juice.
Ah, well, we hear the more I do like author biographies and read about famous authors in the past, it seems that that's like a very common vice that they all had.
It's
So,
very helpful.
um, just so you know, Julie, no, it was not your question that I missed. It was one of the ones on my list. I have found it and highlighted it. I will ask your question next, though. We have a question from chat from author Julie DeFisher. You believe you are able to have equal opportunity hardship for both male and female characters in your stories?
Mm, I am trying to more portray some of the hardship for females in the book, less
Oh, that
focus
was
on
Drizzt.
the
Okay,
males.
clarify. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
That was a question from Drizzt. Julie just reposted it. Thank you for clarifying that. So you're trying to, as you were saying, you're trying to portray the hardships that females go through. So
I try to focus more on that aspect, especially since it's more centered in like the times between like Pride and Prejudice and Bridgerton, when women did not have their own houses, they couldn't own their own properties, they couldn't have their own bank account, that kind of thing. So focusing more on that and less on the male side of things.
gotcha. How about you, Ace?
Well, my book does have two female leads against a male bad guy, but I don't really focus on that. I like to see a female um, underdog rise to the occasion and overcome something. But there are male characters in there, and they both go through the same type of hardships and successes. Um, I don't really focus on either. I just let the story take them where they need to go.
All right, Kesh.
Um,
I got my phone so I can people questions. I'm not ignoring this.
who is your favorite hero of all time, literary or book? Um, and conversely, favorite villain.
Interesting. There's a lot out there. Okay, I guess I'll just have to. The one that's coming to mind is from the Redwall series. Of course, being from the first book, Matthias Mouse being a hero. I like how he starts out as being a little fumbly and flopsy, and then turns into a hero warrior at the end. And then, of course, the dastardly um, evil rat that he faces. As far as villain, the one that's coming to mind is probably Joker for the Batman series. I like how Heath Ledger's put it. How he's like a dog chasing a car or chasing. He gets to there, he bites the tire, but he doesn't know what to do with it. So that brand of chaos is a very interesting villain to me.
So the hero, I would say, in terms of like protagonist, my favorite would probably be from the book The Games Gods Play. She's kind of like, she comes from a pretty low area and enters on a whim, and I really liked like the struggle and how it like the strength in her character, and she chose to stay by her morals and what she believed in throughout the book. And then in terms of a villain, I like the one from Shadow and Bone, and think that it was actually a pretty good uh, show of how a villain could be such a sweet talker.
Well, I mean, devil is known to have a silver tongue, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Finally, going to get back to my question that disappeared on me. What's your favorite junk word / filler word that you use way too much and end up having to edit out?
Uh, there was one that I can't remember off the tip of my tongue, but there was a lot of me doing start in my first draft.
Start. You
I
Ace?
mean,
I had one. It's just like your question has disappeared. But yeah, there's been a couple like that where I have to end up going back through my manuscript and saying, okay, let's again. I use it again, and I have to take it out. It's not come. Excuse me. It's not coming to mind what that is specifically, though.
All right, Cash.
Okay. I'm going to read the question that's in chat. It looks like it's from Drizzt again. Is there a book you've written that you could survive in? Or a book you wouldn't survive in?
Hopefully, all of them. I don't make them too dangerous. One that I wouldn't. I would say that in my Adventure Twins book, The Adventure Smiths, it's a little bit of a fantasy, but it's got a little bit of danger in it. That might give me some trouble.
so I've only written one book, or at least I've only published one book, but the Phoenix Child, I'd probably survive in that because, well, I could just find a cottage and hide away as a hermit. But if it were a separate book that I wouldn't survive in, it would probably be the Fourth Wing series because I would not survive the parapet.
And Sticks, let me add on to mine because I'm forgetting the book that's right there on the screen. If I got on Edward's bad side, I would not survive.
Um, yeah, Fourth Wing. Man, assuming you'd become a dragon rider, though.
I mean, if I were forced to become a dragon rider, then I probably would fall victim like Dylan. But if I were to be a scribe, I probably would survive. But very barely because I probably would not be able to handle all of the people that would come in, and then my temper would flare and I'd probably get killed.
What's your dream writing setup?
Well, uh, I'm already getting close to it. Nice desk with a chair that has a footrest and a massage pillow, but better ventilation in a room for one. I'd like that. Maybe like a nice layout for everything so that I can have everything just be like, "Ooh, move." That would be nice. Oh, and then having a nice layout of food before I write. That's nice.
Snags and ventilation. So a little bit more creature comforts, but you're pretty happy with your hardware.
I mean, my husband built me a computer.
How about you, Ace? What's yours?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing, but good ventilation, the ability to shut out noises and things around me, uh, enough monitors around me, things like that. Enough desk space for me to really rest my arms on.
God. Desk and monitor space are two most, fighting with one. So you get into but if
Sorry
you're
about that.
recovered from your sneezing there.
Sorry about that. Writing versus editing. Which is easier for you and why?
For me, I would say sometimes the editing is easier because for me, a lot of times I will know where I want a scene to go, where I want my characters to go, but there's a lot of times when those actual words don't come to me. And so it's hard to sometimes to just get out words, get out that content, especially if I know where I want the book to end and where I want it to start. It's then get going. To where editing, I've already written it. I maybe have seen a couple of scenes ahead, so I can go back and say, oh, I could tweak this. This is what I really wanted to say. So editing might come a little bit easier than the actual writing process, or I should say the writing of new content.
I would say the actual writing is easier for me, but I also plot it out before I actually do the first draft. So by the time I get to the actual writing, I'm looking at the constructed outline of it and then just putting it on paper. And the editing is my nemesis. I hate it.
Well, you can't love the entire process. It's not allowed in life. You can't. You're not allowed to love what you do and make money at it. But we have another question from chat again from Bitzer, and I'm glad you. I think we had just went over this one backstage for you, Ace. Bitzer asks, "Are you a plotter, a pantser, or a planter?" Go for it, Stavros. You're up first. I asked.
I'm a plotter. Very much a plotter. I have binders of plotting. So much. So much.
I feel like it's such a. I don't know. I have a problem. I have a problem with you people who plot that much. I'm like, you're just writing the book twice. Give yourself a break.
No, it's my brain. That's my brain. It's my baby brain.
What about you, Ace?
I'm a plantser. Um, I I can't plot or lay out the entire thing, but there are times when I know that if I'm going to convey correctly what's coming ahead, I have to plan it, I have to organize it, I have to maybe get some details about it. Um, I have to know where the story wants to go, so it can't be completely, turned loose. But a lot of times I'm just like, okay, right. The characters may say, "Oh, I want to go this other direction," and I'll let them take it.
All right. Kesh?
This is another question from Drizzt in the comments. What do you believe you have an easier job writing? Action scenes or the more narrative, contemplative scenes?
I would say probably the narrative, the contemplation, where they're contemplating, thinking about things. Um, I mean, I've played enough action video games to see, combat, but actions don't come as quickly to me. I like to write more character interactions and relationships than fight scenes.
Okay.
I think that for me, it would depend on how well I am able to get into the emotion of the scene. Um, I have had action scenes where it felt easier to write, but I've also had scenes where I wrote in a scene where the Kalita was having an anxiety attack. And I actually found that incredibly easy to write because I was also having an anxiety attack while it was being written.
I would
I
definitely
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, I mean, they say write what you know. If you're writing, having a panic attack, write a panic attack.
That's very true.
There was a quote from one of my favorite authors. It's not a super famous quote. I feel like it should be though, but it's for this question. And he said that the problem with writing, there's two types of scenes he doesn't like to write. And that's fighting scenes and sex scenes because there's only so many ways you can write about penetration. Um, so you both chose the narrative ones. So good on you there. Uh, do either of you have a lucky like item, piece of clothing, or a ritual you have to do when you sit down to write?
No, I can't really think of having an actual ritual. Um, I think that routine is just something I struggle with a lot. So, as much as I want to have a ritual, it just, as soon as I get into it, it disappears from me. So, it's all just chaos.
Chaos and alcohol. Deadly bedfellows. How about you, Ace?
Not really a ritual, but I do have a little stuffed macaroni and cheese elbow that I'll pick up and fidget with. That's about the closest thing.
You're the first person to answer that with an item. Congratulations. Show first. Go Markesh.
Okay. Um, hmm, like we're on a
We got about enough time for one more question each, so
yeah. Um, what writers did you look up to when you were growing up? Are there any that you still look up to, or have you got new ones since?
I don't remember any of the names, but whenever I was little, I was really into the choose your own adventure books, where you got to a certain part of the story. It said, in order to continue with this way, go to this page, or this way, and go to this page. I really enjoyed those.
Okay.
So, when I was growing up, I grew up with Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys exclusively when I was younger. Um, by the time I reached like maybe middle school, high school, I was getting into books by Meg Cabot, which she's the one who created Princess Diaries. Um, I was reading from that more into fantasy, but it was variety. These days, though, the inspiration I take is from Throne of Glass or Fourth Wing or uh, When the Moon Hatched and Heavenly Bodies. They're all a fantasy book, but I really like the writing style in them.
Okay.
another question. This is going to be our last question of the night. Is going to come from chat. This is one more question from Bitzer. What is the worst distraction for your writing?
I think it's the better question is what doesn't distract me?
Say, don't cheat. Children don't count.
Because I have a lot of distractions. I have a lot of hobbies, and they all distract me. And if I go on to the computer and I don't immediately be like, okay, I'm going to do writing, that's it. Sometimes I even get distracted by my own music, and then I get distracted by my phone. Then I get distracted by, ooh, that's tasty. So many distractions, so little time.
About you, Ace, what's your main distraction?
Oh boy. I would say it's a little bit of Minecraft right now, but I think even above that is there's a couple of shows out there, right, like Criminal Minds, and they don't always, when they come out with a new season, just dump them on you so that you can binge watch them. They still make you wait a week for another episode. So if it's that day of the week and there's a new episode out, I may that'll distract me. But recently there was a time when I was playing some games and I got a story idea into my head, the Tessa and Marin stuff. And that actually distracted me from everything else that story did. And so I wasn't playing games, I wasn't watching anything. I was focused on that story and I enjoyed that time.
Well, that's excellent to hear, is that your writing consumed you enough that it just... Sometimes your characters yell loud enough in your head that you just have to get them out and put them on a page. And that's... I think that's a
Yes.
good state to be in for authors.
Yes.
That wraps up our questions portion tonight. We'll go into the final. Um, what what do our lovely folks over here in chat have to look forward to? Again, we'll start with Stavros. Any events you're going to be going to, works in progress that they can look forward to coming out, things like that.
So in October, actually on Halloween, I am going to be going to an event called the Empyrean Gala. It is going to be hosted in Banff, Canada. There are currently still tickets being sold as we speak, the current count being 400 plus people. I'm going to be selling and signing books there. I'm also working on book number 2, and hopefully we'll have it at least done for pre-orders by then so that people can sign up.
Distractions.
That's the idea.
You can set your computer to focus mode.
That doesn't help.
Ah,
Where
well,
is my sound?
we hear you. How about you, Ace? What do people tell the people what to look forward to?
Well, right now, I'm not really working on anything to publish. I'm working on my Lark Hollow books, which I want to just freely let people read and enjoy. I do have a couple of things on Amazon that I've published. That was years ago. The only thing currently going on is my, the whole My Pen Promptcast. Will I have a submission on Saturday or not? That's my current events.
That's very, very true. And the perfect segue on the way out is what you can look forward to from everybody currently on screen, but especially our two authors here, is their weekly submissions. If they participate, whether or not they're going to participate in the weekly submissions, you can look forward to those every Saturday. Make sure to be here tomorrow and join us for the... Hold on. I was threatened that I have to do this as Julie does it. The Hold My Pen Promptcast every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Adjust your time zones accordingly, where we will be reading your submissions live. The prompt for this week was a concept. Your character wakes up in a world where it is always twilight and nobody remembers what the sun looks like. So, look, if that sounds interesting to you, Make sure you tune in tomorrow to hear what people submitted for that, or write your own. You still have time. Submissions close at 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. If you don't have it in by then, or you're going to be late, message one of the hosts in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, if you're not in the Discord, that's a skill issue that you can easily fix. You just got to go in right here below the stream and click on Discord or exclamation Discord in the chat. Make sure you join up. And do you hear us now, Kesh? Are you back? I think she's listening to stream to be able to hear us. Gotcha. Because we could hear you.
Yeah,
and
I've
your
got
sound
you
went
on
out.
my phone. Sorry,
we hear
'cause my
you.
sound went out on my computer for whatever reason. But what were you?
Do you have anything you want to add to the outro
What
before
were
I do the
you?
final bit? Do you have anything you want to add to the outro before I do the final bit?
Nope, I don't.
All
Sorry.
right. We got a little bit of an echo there. All right. Well, then I'm going to do my best to wrap this up. Thank you both, Stavros and Ace, for being here tonight. If you guys in chat, or if either of you know anybody who would love to be on the show, and doesn't have to be a published author, but editors, narrators, anybody in the book world, we would love to have them. As for you guys in chat, and for everybody else, remember, do not add to the population. Don't subtract from the population. If you bought it, don't eat it. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Be brave, have bigger balls. Don't call us for bail money. We're all broke authors. And we'll see you tomorrow night for the whole My Pen Promptcast. Bye, everybody.